Hey Jay, here we got our latest project, 2017 KTM 450 SXF, brand new bike for 2017. In 16 it was all new, frame, engine, everything. They had the older forks, the 4CS forks, and that's the only thing that kind of held this bike back from winning a lot of the magazine shootouts. So for 2017, I expect this bike to be probably the #1 450. The Honda 450 is a bit of an unknown, but I assume this bike will probably be one of the top 1 or 2 450s in most magazine shootouts and with most guys that test ride all these bikes. It's an amazing bike stock because it has electric start, hydraulic clutch, some great features. For 2017, they've added these air forks, AER 48 WP forks. Now we've already been riding these forks for a couple months on our 300 XC, and off-road riding, we love it. They just float over the rocks, amazing feeling. We've been playing with the pressures and we really like them. Motocross, we're noticing the same thing. I've ridden them on the 250, 350, and 450, and they're pretty amazing feeling. This is a lot of bike, more bike than I like to ride. I like to stick to 250 and 350 on the 4-strokes. This bike is extremely powerful and a really good bike, and we still couldn't leave well enough alone. So we went ahead and customized this thing a little bit, and we're going to show you everything on this bike right now. So the stock pipe is really good. We went ahead and added the titanium FMF full system. The stock muffler is a bit of a pain to get off. You have to take the shock off. With the FMF on, you won't have to do that anymore. You can remove and install it without removing the shock. Really clean system, top quality from FMF. So one of the tiny weak points on a KTM 450, if you could say there was one, is the durability of the clutch can be a little bit suspect. It'll last most guys plenty good. But we went ahead and upgraded to the Henson complete setup with the cover here, their plates, springs, and their inner hub setup. With this setup, it's a lot more durable, long-lasting for this bike. New for Works connection are plastic skid plates. A lot of guys don't like the older aluminum plates that can resonate a little bit more. So the plastic ones are really good for not doing that. Maybe not quite as durable as an aluminum one, but they hold up plenty good and are a really good fit on this KTM. So this bike comes stock with Dunlop's best MX3S tires. We've got a fresh one on here in the rear, and these tires work in an extremely wide range of terrain. The standard KTM bars are really low. They're okay for some guys. We don't feel as comfortable with them, so we go with our standard 604 bin bars, which are standard, say, on a Honda, Kawasaki, most of the Suzukis have that same kind of bar bend. It's a lot higher, but not excessively high, and we feel really comfortable with these 604 fat bars from Renthal. Works Connection makes some great looking bits for this bike, from brake caps to the rotating bar mounts. Really nice pieces to finish off this thing. Okay. So this selector is really cool on these bikes. Map 1 is the stock map, which is good for on the 450s for most guys because the bike has plenty of power stock. So we run her in map 1 a lot. And map 2 is the more aggressive map. So if you're in a deep sand track, where you really wanted some more power, big hills, like a Glen Helen type track for us out here in California. Traction control can be set easily, and that will be like a dry, slippery track. That will work really well and keep the power down a little bit. On most of the 250s, running it in map 2 all the time. But in these 450s, you could be in map 1 or in traction control easily enough. Also, there's a start mode by holding one of the map selectors and traction control at the same time, and that'll help you off of a start and give it a better launch control, let's say, off the start for a race. So we have a new Regina chain here, just because the stock chains don't last a real long time, and at the same time we went ahead and we're playing with gearing a little bit with our rider, and we went up to a 49. Now this bike has plenty of bottom end power, but with some guys, what this allows is they can be more in third gear, a lot more area. So that's something we're playing with. We think for most guys, the stock 48 is going to be plenty good. So for this bike, for the suspension setting, we've been setting up the sag around 105 with gear on and everything. And with the forks, we've been running around 147 PSI. That's about 10 pounds less than what they recommend stock. You can even go a little bit lower than that and play with this thing and see where you really like it. They set out bar, 10.6, 10.2. They have different settings in bar. For those that aren't very equipped with their metric gauges and pressures, what we do is there's a simple app you can put on your phone to convert bar to PSI. And our Works connection pump can switch in between bar and PSI, so you could compare the two numbers, so that makes it really easy as well. Moto Seat's been one of our best companies we work with in making custom seat covers to exactly what we're looking for. They're very durable, hold up well. We like the pleats on top to kind of keep us a little more planted, especially on these powerful four-strokes. Decal Works has long been known as one of the best companies out there for custom graphics. These new camo kits are really cool, and you can add your own, distinctive logos that you want, name, those types of things, and the graphics hold up really well. So some great features in this bike. A couple of things we didn't mention. The Radiator Guards stock, the louvers are actually enforced. They're actually strong. Most louvers are just a flimsy plastic. They're actually strong, kind of give the radiator some more protection as well. Not as good as a full-on guard, but pretty strong. One of the features we kind of aren't huge fans of are lock-on grips. These grips, while they feel fairly decent, everyone's grips are kind of particular and something you can change. I like the new tacky grips from Renthal. Guys like different grips. They like different thicknesses, different softnesses. With these, you're stuck, and that's one disadvantage I don't necessarily like. Also, we haven't been able to find a way that you can buy the stock throttle tube with no grip on it. This grip is vulcanized on there, so we're going to cut this off right now, and it's a challenge. You want to be careful in doing this because this plastic isn't very thick, and we've tried it on, say, like a wire wheel or grinder, and don't do that. Way too risky. It'll crack and break. And an off-road bike, we actually have taken, on some bikes you'll drill this out. With this plastic, you don't want to do that. If you're going to put wraparound handguards on, we actually will just cut it and make a hole and file it out because we don't want to crack this thing. So in this case, we're not obviously doing that. It's just a motocross bike. We're just going to cut this off and then put on our grips that we like. So overall, it's an incredible bike. We're looking forward to putting some time on this thing at the track tomorrow with a few different guys and seeing what everybody thinks of this thing. But a great bike, and I don't think you'll go wrong with this thing if you get one of these in your garage.
Hey everyone, this is Dustin Hoffman. Just got done riding the 2017 450 SXF. We had a few things done to this bike. We put a FMF pipe on it, Hinson clutch, Works connection, supplied all the accessories, Decal Works graphics. Starting off with the 17 SXF is a really good bike to begin with. And then with the FMF pipe and the Hinson clutch, you really notice the power delivery is super smooth. Plenty of bike here at Paris for sure. The bike is super fast, super nimble in these switchback sections, and I really enjoyed the bike. The only thing I need to do is probably stiffen up the suspension just to eliminate some deflection I got, but other than that, the bike was really, really good and spot on. So the new WP AER 48 fork is really interesting. I've never ridden an air fork with that much of a progressive feel, so it's hands down one of the best air forks I've ridden, and just gives you a lot more feel than I've ever had with an air fork. Because typically I'm a spring fork person, and I tend to lean towards the spring fork, but this new WP AR is a really, really good solid fork. The bike looks badass. It feels really good. Super nimble, super aggressive, and I really like it.